This is the 293rd episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the second week of September 2018. This episode is titled Apple to the Max. CloudFocus Week is brought to you by Arkus, specializing Salesforce implementations, and we're hiring. So come on by. Go to arkusinc.com, click on the careers link at the very bottom, and see what we have there.
That careers thing, the thing.
It's a link.
It's a thing on the web and the thing.
I'm your host, as always, and joining me 293 times in a row, although I have regretted 296 of them. Wait, how'd that work? As co-host Justin Elstein. Justin.
Well, we were going to push to get to 300 by Dreamforce.
Still can do it.
No, I don't want to do it now.
Why not?
Because there's nowhere to podcast at Dreamforce.
Are you going pissy pants on me with this one?
Not really. I'm just saying, like, there used to be places to podcast at Dreamforce. Now there are way more podcasters, and now there's nowhere to podcast. So I'm not sitting on the floor again and doing it like we've done many a time, like sitting on one of those cloud beam bags, recording a podcast on one microphone. I mean, they set up a really nice studio there for a couple of years, and now it's gone. I mean, gone.
Gone, baby, gone.
Plenty of room for other things. Not for a podcast studio. Hashtag Ohana.
This episode brought to you by it's 3:33 p.m. Do you know where your cranky Justin is?
It's I'm
right,
all
so
good. I'm just saying it'd be nice if, that's why we're not even going to talk about Salesforce today. We're going to talk about Apple.
This episode is sponsored by Apple.
Yeah.
The
Bye,
company,
Salesforce.
The company that
We'll talk about you some other time.
That is true. CloudFocus Weekly, really about whatever we want.
Yeah.
Salesforce has cloud stuff. Apple has cloud stuff.
Apple has plenty of cloud stuff. We just saw it. All your data's in the cloud.
It's safe
and secure
it's
and all
so
the
safe
stuff.
and secure. So we just finished watching the Apple event, although you had to go out and do something called work.
Do work.
So we thought we've never done this, a rapid reaction. We usually watch it and then rewatch it and then come back and talk about it.
I didn't even get to watch the whole thing.
So, well, you saw
I'm going to fake it till I make it right now.
That never has stopped you before. 293 times. It's just right there.
Yep. Great. Let's do it.
All right.
iPhone, it was terrible, and now it's the best. Let me guess.
So there, you want to do your Johnny Ive voice?
I'll wait till we get to the products.
So we'll go just by... Actually, let's go by the least important and then go to the most. Because I kind of want to talk about the least stuff first and then get to the highest stuff.
Okay.
I think they kind of went in reverse order of the most important stuff. So at the very end, the stuff you missed, I mean, I have never seen them do this. They came out at the end. Tim Cook's like, and we got lots of other stuff coming out. Literally, and spent 2 minutes and just said, so HomePod is going to get software update. You'll be able to make calls. You'll search for lyrics. You'll be able to use Siri shortcuts, and it'll have, Find My Phone will be into HomePod, which I find is strange. Is that me saying find my phone and it'll find it, or is that me saying find my HomePod? Either way, the big one out of that is Siri shortcuts. Siri shortcuts, which are coming in iOS 12, allow you to string together a bunch of commands that go across many apps. So do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. It is if this, then that for your phone. But as those then sync and go to other places and you can command them from your HomePod, I think that makes some really powerful, interesting stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a very cool... I think that'll make Siri much more interesting. So that was the HomePod. tvOS is getting Dolby Atmos. They have 100 video partners. We had an experience the other
that
day.
was fantastic.
The amount of time that I've spent with you in the last 3 days is too damn high. It's too damn much. But I mean, I spent like 17 hours.
I just said it was fantastic, and then you went there. That's where we're going.
Well, no,
I was the cranky one, and now you just go there on me.
The technology was fantastic. Spending all the time with you was just as fantastic.
Are you talking about at your place or mine?
Well, kind of both. We're football fans. We were watching football on Saturday, and then the Jets played on Sunday, so we were watching on Sunday.
Not true.
Sorry, Monday. They played on Monday night.
Yeah.
The Jets.
Yeah, they
Sunday
played on
and
Monday night.
Yes.
Sunday and Monday night.
So we were watching, at my house, we were watching using, basically for the whole day, using Apple TV with DirecTV Sunday Ticket as the app, and using the 4 screens and switching between the screens and zooming in and out, and a few faults. It actually has a couple bugs in it, but a few things. Otherwise, it was great. We were watching like 4 games at a time.
It had a couple wonky,
the audio thing.
And then it signed us out like twice.
But at the beginning, for 7 hours, it kind of kept up, which I thought was pretty good. I didn't have a lot of bandwidth
the bar
issues.
Is very low.
What do you mean?
The TV stayed on for 7 hours straight, and it worked most of it.
A streaming thing for
Again,
7 hours?
The bar has
Yes.
been set rather low.
Fine. So then the next night, I said, all right, since it's only one game on, let's go to your house. Let's watch it at your house. And we were watching for a while, and then because Monday night has the 2 games going on, and I said, I think if we go to ESPN, we should be able to watch both games at the same time because their app,
ESPN the app
on Apple TV.
The Apple TV.
That's why it brings back to Apple. But funny enough, switching over to ESPN the app and just putting on the game we were just watching, the quality was much better.
Oh, yeah.
Like it made the cable company quality look bad.
So,
and then we sat around playing with the switching it and using the dual screens and swapping them back and forth and changing this, and we both just sat there going, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
It's
so
done.
I have a 4K OLED TV.
Yes.
And ESPN the app was delivering the goods.
Yeah.
ESPN on the cable box wasn't really delivering the goods. Like, it looks good. It looks fine. It looks crisp. But then when we went to the app, it was like, colors.
It didn't look crisp when we switched over. Then all of a sudden, it looked really not
All of
crisp.
a sudden, we're like, wait a minute. What is that?
Yeah.
What is this 3D thing?
So this is just another little news item, then we'll get the Apple stuff. But Verizon just announced that they're going to start piloting 5G, which is their new, it's cellular. They're 5G at home.
Right.
They're going to do what I think we've all been waiting for a while. So, cable modems can go, I guess from 10 megabits up to a terabit now. And Verizon Fios can go up to terabit. But 5G can start at 300 and can, in theoretic, get up to a terabit of bandwidth, which makes it literally take this little device, plug it in, no wires, no more, other than power, but no drilling through holes, no whatever. If you have 5G, you can get high-end cable modem speeds, for $60 a month. I immediately thought, this is it. This is what I want. I want to cut the cord with this because I don't want the cord anymore. After that experience, and I've tried, I've been trying them. So I tried CBS
After
All
I tried
Access.
that, I was like, all right, what is the right streaming service for me so that I can watch the things I want to watch live,
right?
Mostly local sports, and then how I can then augment that with other apps because it's becoming more and more true now. The statement that was made maybe 2 years ago by Tim Cook, which is the future of the TV, is apps.
Yep.
It's definitely apps. Without a doubt, it's apps.
It's apps. And they're coming into the TVs, which is one way. There's one fight of having all these apps go into the TV, and there's another one coming into these devices. And it's just interesting to watch them battle it out. So, virtual cable companies like DirecTV Now, it's not
right.
cable.
Sling.
Right? Sling, Hulu Plus. We talk about them all the time.
YouTube TV.
So I'll give my experience. Maybe I'll make my pick. Yeah, why not? I'll change my pick because we're kind of in this thing. So
we're making picks.
We
today?
got into the family, and I got it. We're Star Trek fans. I got my 13-year-old daughter, into Star Trek, and we started off watching the movies, the new movies. Then we went and watched all the old movies. Then we went and started watching Next Gen, and we were away in another country, and all of a sudden popped on Netflix. I don't know, we were sunned out or something. We said, let's pop on Netflix and see what's on it. Well, the thing is, when you're on a different country,
you're in international Netflix,
which has different content. All of a sudden, that Star Trek Discovery, the CBS paywall thing. This is the first time CBS has done this. It's basically their HBO. This paywall show was on Netflix. I was like, wait, this shouldn't be on Netflix, but it was. I was like, ooh, let's watch it. Of course, we got hooked. We got home. I had to then
buy them all.
But we'll had to do a subscription. No, subscription to CBS All Access, which gives you local CBS and their stuff and access to all their old shows. So it's this, and you can do sort of with ads or without. And we did it so we could watch the end of this series. By the way, so that's what I'm making my pick in is what an amazing series. If you're a Star Trek fan, it's great. Anyway,
Come on.
But the point is, that's it. The Apple TV, between that and just the experience of what you can do, and they can upgrade it. Like, they can send in an upgrade to that app without you having to go rebuy a TV. Or, as we know, call up the cable company and be like, can you give me another box? Be like, yeah, we can charge you $50 to come get you a new box. You should just get it. So tvOS, some updates coming on Monday. HomePod 2 we talked about. macOS Mojave is coming out 9/24. That's the new update. That's not really a big deal. That's stuff they just kind of threw in there. Now let's go from the bottom up here. So this was the second to last thing announced, which was the iPhone XR.
Well, the 10.
No.
Oh,
it's
this
below
10R.
It's replacing the 8.
R equal cheaper.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know what R equals. Recycled. Really cheap, but it's replacing the 8. So
it's launching with a Product Red version?
I knew that would get you. I know.
Oh.
I knew that would get you.
iPhone XR.
Yeah.
Hello, my new iPhone.
So it's it's not OLED. So it's not an OLED screen. It's an LED screen. It's got a lot of the same features, but it's not the high-end version. So it's like the 8. There's the 8 and the X. Now there's the R and the X, the 10X and 10S and 10S Max. Which,
and
of
the
course,
10R.
And the 10R in the 5 different colors.
And Product Red is a launch product.
It's
a launch color?
Yes. I know. It's going to be tough for you. Tough choices.
I think I'm going with that.
All right, cool.
Although, did it have the pick and pop, the 3D touch?
So it does not have 3D touch.
So that bothers me because I actually use that quite a bit.
And it's not it's going to look different from the phone. You have the 10, which has OLED, and I think you look at an LCD and you'd be like, oh, not OLED.
I don't think that would bother me that much.
I think it would. I beg to differ.
Maybe I'll go to the store and look at them.
I think you're better.
Well, I mean, I do have my Product Red case, so... Oh, the cases are not going to fit?
I don't know. Anyway.
Wait, you looked at me like I said something wrong.
That's the look I give you all the time. It's the same look when you say something right.
But wait,
it's so rare.
My phone has the Product Red case.
Yeah, it's great. So what?
Are they? Are these?
No, they should be the same size.
The form factor is different.
No, for the new 10X,
for the
10S,
or whatever. Yes,
10X,
the 10S,
10X.
not Max, not
I
Supreme.
I get trouble saying 10X too fast.
Why didn't they just go Supreme Edition?
I don't like it when they do these. I know they don't want to go to 11 because
it doesn't
go to 11. Sorry, it's too easy of a joke. All right, so then up from that, so that was kind of interesting. Again, it was after we're doing it in reverse order because I think it's the way.
Okay.
The most important stuff at the beginning. Then they talked a lot about the environment. They had a whole thing about it. Instead of just the little check boxes they do, person came out. They talked about how they have new programs to recycle all phones. They'll give you money for them. They're now in their own phones, they're using recycled materials from their old phones. So they're using, although you think the price would go down, but it's not. Like they said they're using 30% recycled tin in the new 10S and 10S Max. And just by doing that, it's going to change. They will not have to mine out 10,000 tons of tin out of the ground. So that's kind of cool. Like just the idea of it. Again, and they said they're 100% renewable energy. Everything they do is 100% now. Like they showed they're using different kind of plastics, but they're recycled plastics in their phones. Again, I know it's like their yeah moment, like, hey, but I like it was the most they've ever talked about it. They really talked about it, like
cool
5 minutes.
Did they talk about their cloud data centers and like
running on renewable energy?
Nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
They said everything from every text, every iMessage you send, to every photo, to everything. It's all running. Again, whatever. I don't want to get into an environmental thing, but I think we get a little too complacent around that. It's like, oh, I recycle, so the world's gonna be fine. Yeah, watch Florence come in. This thing that's gonna happen in 4 days. That's a problem. Anyway, so then going up one to the second most important thing they announced.
Can we go all the way up to the top? Because that's the least important.
No, that's the most
Why
important.
is that the most important?
Oh, it definitely is the most important.
It's not, though.
It actually
dude.
is the bigger. Well, fine, Justin. What would you like to talk about?
Well, considering I actually saw all of the Apple Watch piece, we can talk about the Apple Watch piece. And then we can talk about the phone.
That's what I'm saying. We can go talk about it last. We'll talk about the phone, then we'll talk about the watch, the one you actually saw.
Okay, let's talk about the phones.
Okay.
Phones, plural.
So they announced
so many phones.
2 new phones, the XS and the XS Max.
Max.
So a 5.8 and a 6.5-inch Super Retina.
6.5-inch Super Retina OLED.
Yes.
Super Retina 6.5 inches,
So,
which is the biggest phone you'll ever have in your pocket.
They took so much time going over it, and of course they went so much time on the pictures taken and all that.
Oh, well, Schiller loves the cameras. He's like, and then the lens has this glass, which aperture and light and
they
the
showed
stuff
this
and the
feature
things.
where you could change the aperture while again, if you're a photo person, this might just be the greatest thing you've ever seen. At the end of the day, I thought there's a couple things. They kept the price point at $999 as the start. They're going dual SIM, which means that this phone...
Yeah, what does that mean?
That means the phone can have 2 SIM cards in it and can have 2 services.
Yeah, give me that AT&T and Verizon.
At the same time.
Do it. I want that.
And you could get a phone come in. Or you can go on vacation and use one for data, one for voice.
I want all of those things.
And then...
You're telling me I can't get this with the R?
I don't think so.
It only has one chip?
One SIM. We don't call them chips anymore. Of course, they talked about all the new chip, the 812 Bionic.
Well, it's totally bionic.
I don't know quite. I feel like Apple's losing a little bit of the audience they're talking to. I've been watching these things for probably 10 years, maybe longer. I watch all of these things. I usually watch them more than once. I'm a huge Apple fan. This was the one, I guess a little bit because it got it came out in advance. Almost everything they announced came out in advance. And it's kind of like, oh, so you already knew all about it, which is not fun.
Headphones.
But they just spent so much time talking about these very technical details that don't really affect
6
your
cores
life.
here, 4 cores there, 2 more over here, and this one distributes the work across this one and that one and the other one.
And when you're on your laptop, the thing that you use 12 hours a day to do high-end processing and to like do work for you, I feel like that's more important. But the phone that you play Candy Crush on and take pictures, take selfies on, like, I don't know. Like until it can do something outside of what the thing that it can do now, it'll do everything it does now faster. But I kind of wish they would just say, well, and because now this is a laptop, and you're like, oh my god, it's a laptop.
Yeah, but it can do all that augmented reality stuff that you really care so much about, like turning this room into an aquarium.
It can do that. I feel like they've kind of lost it on the what's interesting anymore. Like there's nowhere to go with the phone. You can't go bigger. They went bigger and they went smaller again. The screen is as big as it's going to
bigger
get.
again now.
But they're not
6.5 is the biggest screen you'll ever see.
That's the point. They're not going to go to a 9-inch screen.
Hell yeah, they will. You're gonna carry an iPad Mini. They're gonna stop making iPad Minis and start making iPhone
Maxis,
bonus Maxes, and they're gonna be the same thing.
And they've already put the stuff in the watch, so the watch already has a phone in it. So they've already gone tiny watch, tiny phone.
Yeah, like Zoolander style.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of lost somewhere in here. Again, it doesn't stop them from being a $1 trillion company, or market cap.
Anyway, I liked what I saw of the phone.
It looked great.
I kind of want to hold, like I know what the 5.8 feels like, which is the phone I currently have in my hand and is the screen size that I've been used to for years.
Well, you had the Max before this.
I had the Pluses.
You had the Plus before that.
Like the last 2 Pluses, and then this, which is the same screen
size, but it's not the same phone
size. But not the same form factor size. I feel as though this is good. Like 6.5 inch is probably going to end up being too big now. Although I said that last time, and I really never wanted to go back.
I don't mind the screen size. The screen size is great. I just don't need things bigger. I guess if I weren't an iPad user, that's the only thing. I'm an iPad user. So
you are.
when I want to watch videos at home or like have a different experience, I'll take my iPad out and I'll use that. If I didn't, because I used to love the mini, like that's somewhere between.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd go for max, like could cover 2 jobs, but I don't like sticking. I mean, that thing even sometimes in some pairs of jeans or whatever still feels kind of like, oh, this is a big phone. Don't touch that. And moving on. And last but not least, you can. And this episode brought to you by.
You dig your own little grave over there.
I know. And this, well, you know.
Hey, let's talk about this
thing. Not the first person to ever swear on the podcast, because that was you.
Yeah, but it was you who spent forever trying to beep it out. Beep.
From a hotel room.
What the bleep?
Beep.
All right. Sometimes bleeps are more funny than curse words. Actually, I think so.
Well, we don't have a producer, so
most of the time the bleeps are more funny than the actual curse. Like if it's meant to be delivered as a joke, the bleep is funnier.
Come on, say it again. Come on, say it again, Tourette's. You can do it. Then the curse.
Really?
Yeah, because you have this thing. You need to say things like 3 times. You need to say things 3 times. So, okay, let's go. Last time.
I'm done with this. I'm done.
You done?
You can do that. Actually, yeah, you can do this one by yourself because I was underwhelmed. Johnny Ive told me this was the greatest thing ever, and I was like, I don't really get it. It's just another watch.
So the last thing they released is the Apple Watch Series 4. It's again, it got pre-released, so people already had sort of some of the specs, which I think takes away some of the fun of it. Really, this is the biggest change to the phone, to anything, because all the phones kind of didn't change anything about them. They're kind of the same thing. This actually changed the look of the Apple Watch. It looks different. It's thinner, and it's also got a bigger screen. 30%. If I said 30% more to your phone, you'd be like, ooh, that's a lot. It's a lot. And the really big one, and you know, it has some cool stuff, new chips. It can do all this stuff. But I like how in this, again, unlike in the phone, in this they take the technology and the speed of the chip and they do something interesting with it. On the phone, you got all this power, but they don't do anything that's interesting. They have this brand new accelerometer that has all this power in it, and so they built in a feature for fall detection, that when people fall, it can detect that and kind of do an emergency situation. Which, again, is it something that happens to me every day? No. But that's cool. Like they took a technology thing, an innovation, and turned it into something that could help people or somebody in a way. And then the big one I thought that they really, you know, and you were like ho hum on this, is an amazing breakthrough again for me, and I think, you know, the a lot of people out there in the world, is they have figured out, you know, that they had this. They have the heart rate monitor, which they've built in stuff that will measure if your heart is kind of not beating regularly. They do a little alert, and there have been news stories about people saving their lives. They found they had conditions, and literally owning an Apple Watch saved their lives. But they've kind of stepped that up, and now they have an EC.
It used to save lives.
Now it saves more lives. So now they have an ECG reader built in the phone where you can put your finger on the side and it'll do a full 30-second ECG and then keep the data that you can then give. And this is like, again, to really help with, you know, as you were sitting here poo-pooing, I'm like, do you realize that 1 of every 3 people in America dies from a heart disease?
Great, give them all an Apple Watch.
That's sort of the point. It's like,
well, it's not. They're selling it.
Well, they're creating something that it has a medical purpose. So the whole fitness aspect, and now this thing has more of a medical purpose. It's also the first one to be FDA cleared. I think it's really interesting. I know they're doing all this studies with, what do they call it? Not MedKit, but the studies that they run on the data. Anyway, I think the Apple Watch is really interesting, not just from it can tell you stuff and tell you when things are beeping on your hand, but all the medical stuff they're building into it and the sports technology, fall detection, all that, I just think is really interesting. So that's all the stuff. There's some other little things in it, chips and whatever. All of them are coming out soon. All of them are going to be expensive. Yeah.
Without me even like looking at you. That was good.
Yeah. Because this 300 through 600, just me.
That's actually great.
And
That's great.
And my new puppet, Justin. Hey, Justin, how you doing? I'm doing good. Are you happy today? I'm a happy Justin.
Downloads are in the toilet.
You're gonna be
Download
great.
numbers are in the toilet.
All right. Well, we're actually running out of time today because
Please download. You don't have to listen.
don't listen. Well, you're not going to listen to this one, and we have to get running. So we'll wrap it up. We do need a couple before we hit Dreamforce, whether we get to 299 or 300. We do need to have a full winter. We have to do some winter because there's lots of winter stuff coming out.
Yeah, there's lots of
And we have to do a Dreamforce one, a pre-Dreamforce one. And we also owe, I'll put this on our list of podcasts to do, we have our Lex debate.
Oh, yeah, we do have that.
Yeah, so that would actually be fun to do as the 300th.
That would be fun to do at Dreamforce in a podcast booth.
You're so pissy pants today.
I'm just saying, I wanted it.
Why don't you say what you want to say?
I wanted AirPods. I'm not getting them.
You wanted a product red of the phone you want.
I want a product red of the
that.
product I want. I don't get it.
And you want a podcast studio. You're not getting it.
I want a podcast studio, Dreamforce. Is that too hard to ask?
Pretty much.
Why is that so hard? We can have a photo booth with cartoons.
I love it when you get this way. It's so funny. The problem is they gave it to you once. If they hadn't,
They
or
did
twice.
not. They gave it to us 3 times. They built it for us. Literally, you and I.
Well, and there was one other podcaster at the
Not
time.
at the time. Literally, we had a table
the
in a
first
basement.
Well, remember, we were over at the nonprofit area
Yes.
that first time, up on the little stage.
A little tiny thing.
Yeah.
And then they made it a little bigger. And then they made it really big. And of course, they made it too big, so someone had to manage it. And it's like, no, just put a place off to the side where 2 or 3 or 4 people can sit and record something
Right.
for a half hour.
Right. With maybe some seats in front of it.
Yeah.
Make us reserve it.
That's all.
In a sheet.
Super easy.
Super easy.
We can do it ourselves. We're not stupid. I mean, you are.
Okay. Just wait for it. That's just too obvious. All right. We'll be back. We'll definitely get back to some Salesforce news. Until then, follow us on all the places, like us on all the places, review us on all the places. But until then, it's Justin and Jason saying enjoy those cloudy days.